Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm so glad that you're here. I have been working diligently on cleaning out my freezer, and having the meal plans and the What's for Dinner series has really helped me out. In fact, so much so that my freezer is just about empty. I got a few bits and bobs in there. I will show you what it looks like, but my freezer needs to get defrosted. I need to get in there and get this huge block of ice that's formulated on the back and get that cleaned out. And then normally what I do is I take all of that ice and I put that into my strawberry and blueberry bushes that I have in my garden, and then I restock the freezer from the shed. So if you're new here, hi, my name is Renee. We live in a 41-foot Montana fifth wheel, and we use our freezer in the fifth wheel to plan all of our meals, and then we resupply from our freezer that we have in our garage. We bought a half a cow last September, half a hog in the springtime, so we are set for meat. So today I'm going to show you guys what that freezer looked like before I defrosted it, and then we're going to stock it, and I'm going to show you what it looks like afterwards. So let's go grab some meat from the freezer outside.
Look who just planned to say hi. Hello. Hi. Wednesday. Hello.
What? These are our two freezers that we have. The one here on the left has mostly all of our beef, and the one over here on the right has mainly our pig or our hog. So let's go ahead and take a look at this one, and we'll grab some stuff out of here that we need to bring into the trailer, and we'll be making meals with some of this stuff moving forward. So let's see what we got. Ms. Wednesday wanted to come in and say hello. She wants her little snacks. All right, so this is the freezer that has mainly all of our pork and whatnot, and I do have some pork belly that I need to use, so I'm gonna throw that in my bag. We do need some bacon. So this is the bacon that I have. This is my favorite bacon. It retails for about $25 for 3 pounds, but I only buy it when it's on sale, and normally when they put it on sale, it's $9. So I will grab like 4 or 5 of them and stock up on bacon. I love how thick these pieces of bacon are. These are amazing for stir fries, fried rice, and every once in a while we like to just have bacon tacos. And this is what our freezer looks like for our beef. So as you can see, I still have other things like bacon, prairie fire dogs. I have frozen avocados, which I am not a fan of. I still have a little bit of cheese, and there's coconut. So I do use the freezer for some things other than just meat, but I don't typically freeze leftovers. That's one thing that you really don't see a whole lot of. Every once in a while I will, but most of the time I do not. All right, so these are some Walla Walla onions. I wasn't able to get any at the farmer's market this year, Walla Walla onions, so I chopped them up. I'm glad I did. So we're gonna put those, we're gonna bring these inside. This is one of those examples of the just 1 pound ground beef that I have. Even though all of these are ground beef, most of this freezer is ground beef. I bought this for one of our shelf stable Saturday videos, so you might want to take a look at those. I was just every Saturday just buying a little bit of extra food on a budget just to beef up my pantry. So I think I'm going to take one of these. I think that was the only one actually that I've left. Bring in a couple of these ground beefs. These I think are 2 pound packages. They charge you more if you ask them to package it in 1 pound packaging. So we have it for 2 pounds. So we're gonna use this ground beef for our stuffed bell peppers and for our smash burgers. Okay, I don't know if you can see it, but I've got a huge layer of ice in my freezer. So today is the day that we are going to get it defrosted. I already have the refrigerator and the freezer turned off. It's not going to make it any easier, but I kind of gave it a little head start. I'm gonna go grab my blow dryer and help this move along a little faster. This is half of the slab of ice that was on just a third of the portion of the back of the freezer. Here are all of the other bits and bobs. Now my freezer is defrosted. I just have to, this is soaking wet. I put this down to collect the liquid and all these bits and bobs. I'll take this outside and put them in my strawberry bushes, and I'll go bring out the water. And this is what the freezer is looking like after it has been completely defrosted. You can see there is just a little bit of ice that's starting to accumulate there on the back. Again, it's just a reoccurring situation, but this is the meat that I have left over. Just some sausages and some ham and pepperoni, things like that. Some bread. This is a cut up chicken fryer. This was almost $15. We get this from our local butcher. They happen to be at the farmer's market this weekend. So we got 2 of these packages. And then I also got some cube steak, but I didn't realize that I had cube steak from our cow. So I got 2 more pounds. So we do have those. This is all of the meat that we grabbed from the freezer in the garage. So on this side over here, I have our pork. We've got the ham hock, the pork belly, the pork steak, some sausage. I like to use this sausage to make my sausage gravy. These are the links that I get from Winco. They're nice, big, fat, juicy ones. I have 2 pounds of our pork sausage, some country style ribs, and 3 pounds of the seriously thick double smoked bacon. This is the best bacon I've ever had. And then over here on this side, I did have some lamb, some goat meat, and ground beef. Yes, I know we bought a cow, but I was doing Shelf Stable Saturday and I found these on clearance during one of those videos. So I just bought those. I think these were $5 each. And I think this one was about maybe $6. We also have some prairie fire dogs. Every year I go to Montana and I buy about anywhere between 10 to 15 of these packages. These are between $7 and $10 a piece. They vary in price, sadly, but these are some of the best sausages that we've ever had. These are redneck prairie fire dogs. They are a jalapeno pepper sausage with cheese. They are amazing, and they are made locally there in Kalispell, Montana. I also pulled out some boneless chuck steaks along with another pack of top sirloin steak. I think we have 1 more after this pack, and I think this is our last pack of chuck steak. I have 4 packages of ground beef. We have a bunch of these because that's primarily what we wanted, was mostly ground beef. And then I took out some stew meat and some short ribs. And then of course I have the Walla Walla onions. So let's go ahead and get all of this put back in the freezer. All right, I went back into my freezer and I grabbed some of these frozen avocado chunks. So I'm gonna make it a point to use these. And I don't have any butter in here. Well, I don't have a whole lot of butter in here. So I have 2 of these butters, these Truly grass-fed. I found these at the grocery outlet for $2.99. And although $2.99 is relatively cheap, keep in mind that this is actually only for 8 ounces of butter. This is not for a whole pound. So that is, for me, I feel like it's crazy expensive, but Amato likes it, and so I get it. So we're gonna throw these in our freezer too. All right, so there we are, all nice and stocked up. I already have my meal plan for week 7 written out. So moving forward, this freezer will start supporting what's for dinner week 8. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you're all having a wonderful day, and I will see all of you in the next video. Bye.